The discovery of a potential bust of Cleopatra, discovered at the archaeological site of Taposiris Magna in northern Egypt. This has reignited interest in the enigmatic life and death of Egypt's very last queen. Wait till you hear this. Cleopatra, a figure shrouded in mystery and romanticised by history. Taposiris Magna is an ancient temple complex near Alexandria, and this has been the focus of excavations for over a decade. Recent findings, including a bust speculated to resemble Cleopatra, as well as other significant artefacts, have fueled speculation that her long-lost tomb might lie nearby. However, whether the bust indeed represents Cleopatra herself remains a matter of debate. The so-called bust of Cleopatra was uncovered during excavations led by Dr. Kathleen Martinez, a Dominican archaeologist who has long championed the hypothesis that Cleopatra's tomb is located at Taposiris Magna. The sculpture in question, carved from alabaster, depicts a woman with delicate features and a serene expression. This artefact dates back to the Ptolemaic period. This is the era of Cleopatra's reign, from 51 BC to 30 BC. However, scholars caution against hasty conclusions. The reason being, Cleopatra's physical appearance has been the subject of conjecture, as no definitive portrait of her survives. Coins minted during her reign depict her with a strong nose and a sharp profile, and this suggests that she emphasised intellect and authority over conventional beauty. Artistic representations from the Ptolemaic era often adhered to idealised forms, making it difficult to determine if this bust was intended to depict Cleopatra or another high-ranking woman of the same period. Without inscriptions or additional context, identifying the bust definitively as Cleopatra remains speculative. In addition to the bust, several other discoveries at Taposiris Magna lend weight to the idea that Cleopatra may have been interred nearby, and these additional discoveries include coins bearing Cleopatra and Mark Antony's likeness. Coins discovered at the site bear the profiles of Cleopatra and her Roman lover Mark Antony. The coins provide a tangible link to her reign and suggest the temple was of significance during her lifetime. The mummies with gold-laced tongues. Excavations revealed mummies buried with golden amulets in the shape of tongues, believed to enable speech in the afterlife. Although these individuals are not Cleopatra or Mark Antony, they indicate the site's use as a burial ground for elite individuals, potentially tying it to royalty. Greek and Egyptian religious symbolism. Taposiris Magna was dedicated to Osiris, the Egyptian god of the afterlife, and contained symbols merging Greek and Egyptian cultural elements. Cleopatra was known for embodying this duality, portraying herself as the living embodiment of the goddess Isis, Osiris's consort. This connection strengthens the possibility that the site held personal significance to Cleopatra. A tunnel beneath the temple? In 2022, archaeologists uncovered a 1,300 metre long tunnel beneath the temple, described as a geometric miracle. This underground passage, partially submerged in water, may lead to hidden chambers. If Cleopatra and Mark Antony sought to escape desecration by Augustus following their defeat, a concealed burial site here would align with their dramatic final chapter. The possibility that Cleopatra's tomb lies at Taposiris Magna is tantalising but unconfirmed. Historical sources, including Plutarch and Cassius Dio, suggest Cleopatra orchestrated her burial to ensure dignity in death alongside Mark Antony. Ancient Alexandria's royal quarter, where Cleopatra's palace once stood, is now submerged underwater due to centuries of earthquakes and rising sea levels, and this complicates efforts to locate her final resting place. Dr. Martinez's theory posits that Cleopatra chose Taposiris Magna for its religious significance and strategic location outside Alexandria. However, skeptics argue there is no concrete evidence tying the site to Cleopatra herself, and the search may be driven more by modern fascination than historical accuracy. Nonetheless, the discovery of this alabaster bust, along with other compelling artefacts at Taposiris Magna, represents an exciting chapter in the ongoing quest to uncover Cleopatra's lost secrets. While the bust's identity remains uncertain, the site continues to yield tantalising clues that hint at its significance during Cleopatra's reign. Whether or not the tomb lies hidden beneath the temple, the discoveries at Taposiris Magna deepen our understanding of the Ptolemaic dynasty and the enduring legacy of one of history's most intriguing figures. Cleopatra may remain elusive for now, but her allure ensures that the search will continue. Cleopatra was the last active ruler of the Ptolemaic Kingdom of Egypt. She died on August the 12th in the year 30 BC under circumstances that remain a subject of historical fascination and debate. It was her death that marked the end of Ptolemaic rule and the beginning of Egypt's integration into the Roman Empire under Octavian, later Augustus. Cleopatra's dramatic demise, often shrouded in legend, is tied to her political and romantic entanglements with two prominent Romans, Julius Caesar and Mark Antony, and her ultimate defeat by Octavian. Cleopatra's death came at the culmination of a series of political and military conflicts. After forming a powerful alliance with Mark Antony, both politically and romantically, Cleopatra sought to challenge Octavian for control of Rome's eastern territories. However, their ambitions were thwarted at a decisive naval engagement where Octavian's forces defeated Antony and Cleopatra's fleet. Following their defeat, Antony and Cleopatra fled to Alexandria, their last stronghold. In the summer of 30 BC, Octavian's forces invaded Egypt, and the end seemed inevitable. Antony, misled by a false report that Cleopatra had died, took his own life by falling on his sword. When he learned she was still alive, he reportedly died in her arms, leaving Cleopatra alone to face Octavian. According to ancient sources, Cleopatra, determined to avoid humiliation as a captive in Octavian's triumph in Rome, she took her own life in a carefully orchestrated act. The most famous version of her death, as recounted by Roman historians such as Plutarch and Cassius Dio, claims that she arranged for an asp, a venomous Egyptian snake, to be smuggled into her chamber in secret in a basket of figs. Cleopatra supposedly allowed the snake to bite her, causing a swift and relatively painless death. And her burial site has remained a secret ever since, but perhaps recent excavations at Taposiris Magna and the discovery of this bust may shed light on where Cleopatra was interred. But what do you guys think about this? Comments below, and as always, thank you for watching.